Good morning, Randy. Thanks for being here. Not the new kid on the block, exactly. Been with the City of Waterloo for just under 2 years. Let's start with maybe an overview of your areas of responsibility.
Yes, well, thanks for having me. So it's pretty exciting. I get to oversee 6 different departments that provide service to the City of Waterloo. It starts with the street department, sanitation, animal control, traffic operations, waste management, and fleet maintenance. All of these different 6 different departments provide a wide range of services to the city, and we try to do that in the most economically efficient way that we can, utilizing not only technology but equipment that it takes to be able to do all of that.
So obviously you have a lot going on. Tell us about your priorities for the Public Works departments. What are you hoping to accomplish?
So the biggest thing would be, prioritizing it, pretty much by each individual area, looking at as far as what our strengths and weaknesses are and how we can try to advance in that. In our traffic operation area is one of the areas I really say that we are standing out, especially when it comes to traffic adaptive controls. They call it the Internet of Things. So we're always looking at to become more technology savvy. So the way that actually works is when you have traffic that are, let's say, a high volume area, and then you have a side collector street that's coming up to it, the intersection can actually, through sensors, traffic monitoring cameras, and all that, and loops that we have in the road, that they can see what the volume of traffic is there and let it know, say, okay, we want to let a section of that go through and create a decent void, so then that way when your side streets need to empty out, along with your pedestrians and bicyclists that potentially may be using the roadway as well too, to try to keep that safe. Like I said, our overall goal is, we don't want any fatalities, which, Waterloo has some of the safest streets in the state just because of some of the technology. Like I said, the traffic adaptive system, Waterloo was one of the first in the state to actually implement that. So that's pretty exciting. But it's just not in that department alone. We also have a SCADA system that we've just implemented this last year at the wastewater plant, where we're able to utilize computers and technology in each one of our buildings, so we can see if pumps and blowers and different things are running, and then if there happens to be an alarm, they can be in each one of the buildings and be able to see the entire operation, not just there, but it's, through the Internet of Things, they can actually access through their phone and or tablet. Street department that, we have technology that we use AVL as far as being able to track our equipment and to utilize the computers and stuff that they have on there, so we can look at route optimization, so we can evaluate the plow routes when the individuals are doing them, and if we can see if we can alter that route to make it more efficient. But also utilizing the technology that's on there, so we know like how much material that they're using, whether it be salt or salt sand, or pre-wet and or anti-icing, we'd be able to track that material, be able to run a report so we can actually see more efficiently how much material we've used. Not to mention, which incorporates all of our departments, which is GIS and GPS. We have a lot of infrastructure, whether it's sanitary sewer, storm sewer, water, traffic signals, signs, all of this infrastructure that we have. We want to know where it's at, how long has it been there, what size it is. So, all this technology that we utilize to make it more efficient at what we do. A lot of it's overlapping, and it's always evolving and changing, and it's always a process to try to stay on top of it.
You're talking about data, you're talking about technology, science for critical decisions. How do you stay on top of all that? A lot of it that we're very fortunate here in the City of Waterloo is we have a lot of talented staff. We have a lot of staff who is always striving to look at how we can become more efficient and better at what we're doing. So whether it's through training and communication, planning, sitting down, looking at, okay, how can this not only benefit just our own department, but how it can, benefit other departments, and really showing the reward as far as what we're doing in our output as far as what we're doing, so others can benefit from it as well too. So as you're out and about in the City of Waterloo, what stands out? What are you seeing?
There's a lot of new things. I would definitely say the Waterloo Regional Airport is definitely something that we really should talk about. That's a huge asset, not only for Waterloo, but the Cedar Valley in general. It's not just a commercial industry as far as flights. It's home, for hangars that not only can you get fuel and maintenance done for whatever aviation aircraft, whether it be personal planes, sport planes, or helicopters. They have a new ambulatory service that they just acquired this year, which is great for the Cedar Valley. It's a service that's provided to not only our local hospitals, but
surrounding hospitals as well. The airport, they're always looking at, advancing. There's always improvements that are taking place. And there's growth. I know this year they just, a couple of the tenants that they have just ended up building a new hangar, I believe, is a little over 12,000 square feet, which is pretty exciting. I know they have another vendor that's looking at doing in the next construction year that's around 14,000 square feet. So there's definitely a huge asset in not just for Waterloo, but the Cedar Valley to take advantage of.
I agree that airport, or the Waterloo Regional Airport, is critical to our economy. It has to be maintained and it has to be supported. And if I can just say, I prefer to fly out of Waterloo. It's very convenient. It's a money saver for me. I can grab my bag, get in my car and leave, and time is money. So, I do prefer to fly out of Waterloo, and I would encourage all of us to think about that. Another tremendous asset that we have in Waterloo is our water. Tell us about that.
Waterloo Water Works it's integral. Everybody needs water. They're always making improvements into the infrastructure, whether it's coordination through the yearly street improvements that we do, and or just underserved areas. They're always making the improvements there. This last year alone, they put in just a little over 14,000 feet of new water line. And not only was it just the new water lines, but they also put in new hydrants, which helps with fire protection. But they're always making improvements as far as doing their flushing and their yearly maintenance that they're doing, replacing both hydrants and valves, to that way they got the most up-to-date service that they can. I know they also have made some improvements through their radio communications that they've been installed into their water tower, so that way it can integrate on the technology side with all the meters to eventually get to the point where residents would be able to see their usage live and see what their consumption is anytime that they want to do that. So it's not just the infrastructure for what you can't see under the ground that they're making improvements, but they're also doing on the technology side as well too. And the one thing, to point out, Waterworks, like I said, it's a huge asset for the community, but they also provide all that water also to the city of Waterloo for no charge. So whether you're enjoying the golf course or the pools or the library or anything else, that you always have that good quality water that we all expect and deserve.
If there's anything we've learned over the last year, we shouldn't take anything for granted. I want to personally thank you for being here. I want to thank your team. You have essential employees. We consider them to be the unsung heroes of our community. They're out many times doing jobs that others wouldn't want to do. Mike Rowe would say they're dirty jobs, but they're critical, they're important, and it goes back to the great quality of life we have here because of employees like yours and the rest of our city staff. So thank you.
Yep, and thank you for, we have a lot of dedicated employees, and they really enjoy what they do, and we're very fortunate, so thank you.
Thanks for being here.